Think about this for a second. Right now, somewhere in the market, numbers are quietly shifting. No headlines, no breaking news banners, just silent movements that only the prepared can see. The XRP Rich List is not just an online chart, it's the scoreboard of a global wealth transfer already in motion. And if you're on it, this moment is about to redefine what early really means. You've watched others doubt. You've heard the laughs, the comments, the so-called experts saying XRP would fade into crypto history. But here's the truth. When XRP liquidity starts flowing like it's about to, when whales reposition and the infrastructure goes live, every single decision you made to hold will look like genius. Because you are rich not from hype, not from luck, but from foresight. 2025 isn't just another year. It's the year XRP Rich List members get their proof in real time. Liquidity hubs, cross-border settlements, institutional inflows. They're not concepts anymore. They're pipelines filling up. And as demand accelerates, you are rich simply because your position exists before the floodgates open. The math is clear. The strategy is sound. And if you're holding your ground, the coming XRP liquidity wave isn't something you'll watch pass by. It's something you'll ride. Stay here. Watch closely. Because by the end of this, you won't just understand why the XRP Rich List matters. You'll know, deep down, that you are rich long before the rest of the world realizes it. Part 1. The Surge. No one saw coming. What if I told you the moment you've been waiting for isn't months away? It's already here. Right now, open interest in XRP futures has exploded to $1.9 billion. And here's the twist. This isn't retail traders chasing hype. This is institutional money, the kind that moves before the headlines, before the influencers, before the herd even knows what happened. If you're already on the XRP Rich List, this isn't just exciting news, it's confirmation. Quiet confirmation that you are rich before the breakout even begins. Because when the deepest pockets on the planet start taking positions, they're not guessing. They're executing a strategy. And that strategy is about to collide with the reality of XRP liquidity tightening across the market. You've been holding, waiting, watching the charts creep sideways. But this $1.9 billion move is the kind of under-the-surface surge that precedes headlines, price spikes, and FOMO waves. The kind of move that XRP whales make when they already know what's coming next. And if you're holding now, you're in position before they open the gates for the rest of the world. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll see exactly why this surge proves the XRP Rich List was never just a chart. It's the playbook for the wealth transfer already in motion. And right now, you're not just watching it happen. You are rich because you're in it. Part 2. What is open interest and why it matters? Open interest isn't just a number on a trading screen. It's the heartbeat of a market's conviction. It measures the total value of active futures contracts, showing how much money is locked into bets that the market is about to move. When open interest surges, it's like a sudden rush of blood before a sprint, capital flooding in with purpose. In the case of XRP, a $1.9 billion spike is not retail traders playing games. This is deep-pocketed institutional money stepping in, quietly positioning themselves while the public is distracted. These players don't throw billions into a trade without a clear strategy, and history shows they're often the ones who move first, long before the headlines. For the XRP Rich List, this moment matters because it's the first concrete on-chain signal that the years of patience, the sleepless nights, and the conviction to hold are about to be rewarded. This is where you are rich stops being a belief and starts being a mathematical, observable reality. Every uptick in open interest tightens the spring, and when it releases, the move will be sharp, fast, and decisive. If you understand scarcity math and the limited supply of XRP, you know why this surge is a warning shot to the unprepared. The whales are loading up, and the next wave could reprice the market in days, not years. If you're already in position, this is not the time to hesitate. It's the time to prepare for the acceleration. Part 3. The XRP Rich List Advantage. If you've been holding XRP, you've been more than just early. You've been resilient. You've watched the charts move sideways for months, even years. You've survived wave after wave of FUD, shrugged off sensational headlines, and stood firm while others panic sold. You've endured legal uncertainty that made casual investors run, but you stayed. That's not luck. That's strategy. And now, the game board is shifting. The surge in open interest isn't random. It's capital flowing directly into the ecosystem where you already hold your ground. This isn't potential anymore. It's positioning. The XRP Rich List is proof you've been sitting in the front row all along, waiting for the curtain to rise. When liquidity flows into the exact asset you own and the crowd hasn't noticed yet, you gain an advantage money can't buy. You are rich not just in coins, but in time, the single most valuable commodity in any market. Every day you held, every dip you refused to fear, positioned you in a space where institutional liquidity now has no choice but to join you. This is where conviction turns into leverage. Not financial leverage, but informational and positional leverage. You're no longer waiting for the market to notice. You're standing exactly where the next wave is about to crash. And when it does, it won't just lift the price. It will lift the entire narrative you've believed in since the beginning. Part 4. Emotional proof. Patience pays. Most traders chase green candles like moths to a flame. They hear the noise, buy in at the peak, and watch their gains evaporate when the hype fades. But you stayed when the charts went quiet. You endured the boredom, the doubt, and the endless FUD storms. You didn't need the crowd's approval. You trusted the math, the vision, and your position on the XRP Rich List. Now, the tide is shifting. The same institutions that ignored XRP for years are quietly stepping into your lane with nearly $1.9 billion in open interest. That's not a whisper. It's a war chest being deployed into the very asset you refuse to let go of. This is the moment where your patience becomes your edge, where your early conviction transforms into undeniable proof. They told you to sell. They told you to chase other coins. They told you XRP was dead money. But here's the truth. It wasn't dead. It was loading. And now the ones who laughed are the ones late to the table. You are rich not just in what's coming, but in what you already understood before the rest of the world caught on. Part 5. Numbers and scarcity. Only 100 billion XRP will ever exist, and that number is already shrinking. A massive portion is locked in escrow, sitting in institutional cold wallets, or permanently gone through burns and lost keys. The coins actively circulating in the market? A fraction of the headline supply. Now add this. A significant chunk of that circulating XRP is tied up in futures contracts. That means it's not available for spot trading. It's locked in strategic plays, often by big money players who don't move without a calculated plan. This tightening supply creates a scarcity effect that most retail investors fail to see until it's too late. The XRP Rich List is not just a scoreboard of wealth. It's a map of control. It shows who has the leverage over this scarce asset, who can move the market when the time comes, and who will benefit the most when liquidity flows into a finite pool. When you hold a meaningful position in such a limited resource, and you understand how little is actually available, you realize you are rich not just because of price potential, but because you control a slice of something the world cannot print more of. Part 6. Strategy. What to do now? Now is the moment to move with precision, not impulse. If you're holding XRP and part of the XRP Rich List, your priority is protection and positioning. Secure your holdings in cold storage. Eliminate exposure to exchange hacks or sudden freezes. Track open interest alongside price action daily. The $1.9 billion surge in futures isn't noise. It's a signal of coordinated institutional positioning. Next, study liquidity patterns on both futures and spot markets. When momentum in futures spills into spot buying, historical data shows that price moves are sharper, stronger, and longer lasting. This is your cue to be ready, not reactive. Build a watch list of XRP liquidity hubs and cross-exchange flows because when they align, entry points disappear fast. Lastly, prepare your staking strategy and exit targets in advance. The moment institutional money triggers a breakout, it won't be time to figure out your next move. You'll already need to be executing it. In this phase, patience is your weapon, but preparation is your shield. The XRP Rich List isn't just about what you hold. It's about how you act before the rest of the market even wakes up. Part 7. Take your rank seriously. You've been here since the early days, watching, waiting, believing when the market called XRP dead money. You survived the lawsuit storms, the media silence, the endless sideways grind. And now, the $1.9 billion surge in open interest tells us something big. The gates are opening, but not for everyone. Institutional capital is moving in. Quiet, calculated, relentless. When they take their positions, they don't give them back. If you're already on the XRP Rich List, you have a rare advantage most will never get again. But knowing your position is just as important as holding it. This is where you turn belief into measurable proof. Right now, you can download the updated XRP Rich List Institutional Impact Report, built for serious holders only. It reveals your exact percentile on the XRP Rich List after the institutional surge, how close you are to the elite thresholds like 10,000 XRP or higher. The scarcity math showing why you are rich before price even spikes. Strategic moves to protect your rank while liquidity shifts into your lane. Don't wait for the news cycle to validate what's already in motion. The future of this asset is being locked in now. The question isn't, will you are rich happen? It's, will you still be at the top when it does? Act now. Claim your rank. Protect your edge. The market won't give you a second entry at these levels. Part 8. The quiet before the storm. They'll tell you it's nothing. A blip, a spike that will fade. But you've been here long enough to know the difference between noise and signal. And this? This is the signal. $1.9 billion in open interest doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's precision capital, deployed with intent. While the rest of the market scrolls TikTok, waiting for the news to catch up, you already hold the position they'll wish they had. The XRP Rich List isn't just a scoreboard. It's proof of foresight. You are holding scarce supply in a moment when demand is about to be engineered into existence. That's not hype. That's structural advantage. You are rich not because of luck, but because you understood scarcity math before the crowd. You saw that 10,000 XRP in your wallet was more than a number. It was a threshold. It was your seat at the table before the floodgates opened. And now, the gates are creaking. History will look back at this moment and call it the quiet before the storm. You'll call it something else. Confirmation. The move you've been waiting for is already in motion, invisible to most, undeniable to you. So stay in position. Secure what you hold. Because when the storm hits, the XRP Rich List will not expand. It will contract. And the ones who were there first will not just survive. They will define the next chapter. You are rich. Already. Now prove it by being here when the rest finally arrive. Seal the moment. The noise will come later. The headlines will catch up. But by then, it won't matter for them. Because the position you hold today will be impossible to reclaim. You're not here by accident. You're here because you saw what others missed. You read the numbers, understood the XRP Rich List, trusted the scarcity math, and kept your 10,000 XRP safe while the rest hesitated. That's not just investing. That's mastery. That's how you are rich before the market even wakes up. This is your moment to lock it in. Double-check your cold wallets. Study the flows of institutional capital. Watch the XRP liquidity build beneath the surface. When the breakout hits, you won't need to chase it. It will already be running through your position. In the end, the story of wealth is always written by those who acted first and held longest. You've already claimed your seat at that table. Now, protect it. Grow it. And when the world finally calls it luck, you'll know the truth. It was never luck. It was preparation meeting opportunity. Stay in the lane. Stay on the list, because you are rich, now and for the cycle to come.